Okay, you're on.
All right, so we're gonna do the basics of how to build a Godzilla. You start off with an extension cord. Getting a cheap one is the easiest if you can. The insulation is a little easier to strip, but any of them will work. I go to Goodwill. They frequently will have packages of them for very cheap amounts, or you can get them for 99 cents a piece. So what you do is you just cut off the ends.
You be sure it's not plugged in first, right?
Yes, make sure it's not plugged in. That could lead to an unpleasant surprise. A shocking discovery. Then what you do
You can cut with this.
is
right here.
take your scissors and get started cutting down the middle, and then pull the two things apart. Do that on both ends.
Do you have more scissors, Linda?
There's some around
Oh.
somewhere.
Share. Okay. Yeah, sure. Usually if you just get them started, you can pull them apart, usually.
And I went to Home Depot and bought out their
Usually
wire
if you just get them
strippers.
started, you can pull them apart.
And then get your wire stripper, or handy dandy wire stripper. Now somebody's got to give me one so I can show the camera.
I need this.
Thank you.
I don't know where to.
So you just get
At
the
the very
right, the
end.
correct size.
Just cut it. Oh,
First you-
you've got a
latch it.
switch. Nice.
Yeah.
Do it right.
So then you find the right, and you just kind of twist, or kind of cut and twist, until you get that insulation scored, and then you just pull it off like that. So do that on all four sides. And the wire strippers work great because they can pull it up without
Usually
stripping
when
leather.
stripping wire, you only want like an inch or so. We want more in this. I
I'm
see
just
you
pulling
doing a
off.
lot more.
Yeah, I'm just doing more just to show.
How much do we actually need?
Bob, how much do you?
Usual inch or so?
I usually make an inch on one end that's going to attach to the battery to keep the wires shorter so they don't risk touching. And then on the sponge end, maybe an inch and a half. A little longer for the sponge and a little shorter for the battery end. But actually, if you made them exactly the same, it wouldn't matter. An inch and a half is the right range. 2 inches, it's kind of getting sloppy.
Yeah, I just do, and then I cut down. To
Twist them
whatever
up,
it is.
yeah, twist them
And
to
then I
keep them
twist
neat.
'em
Right. You see why we don't sell these. It's just so silly how easy it is to make.
Well, okay, so here's a cheap alternative. Go to Radio Shack and get some alligator clips.
Yep,
Yeah, you can use alligator clips too.
and also.
Makes them easy to attach. But then when you go into the sponge, you need the bare wires to fit in the sponge.
Yeah, and I went to, what is it, Harbor Freight, and they got these for like $2. So it's got all different, it's got a whole bunch, it's got plain ones, it's got the wire insulated, or the plastic insulated ones, it's got the little battery clip things too. So the whole package for about $2. So you do both sides of your,
You're just doing it with scissors? Yeah, if you're good, you can, like with a knife, I can usually do it really effectively. I don't have the same feel with scissors, but you can cut just the insulation and pull it off. Yeah, see, so I cut just the insulation, and then you can just pull it off.
yeah, you just wanna make sure that you don't pull a lot of the wires with it.
With a knife, it's really easy, but scissors are a little trickier. So all we're using this extension cord for is the wire, basically. So like, I have a laptop charger that just died the other day, and I was debating what to do with the wires. I could just use the wires from that, right?
Cool. Finally. I don't like the wire.
Wire needs to be flexible, is the main thing.
Right, so
That's
laptop
the-
charger,
yeah.
wire
Yeah, just
would work
like I
just
said,
as well.
Yeah.
If the transformer's dead.
Speaker wire works well, and
No, you don't need them all. Just
All right,
twist them
anybody
so
need
you have.
wire strippers.
Cool. Got that.
Should be,
Yeah.
an 18, right? 16?
So here was my solution. is I took an eye hook and cut it off, and then took the scissors and cut through it. And then pushed it in. So now I have this, so then I attach my
Show the camera.
So then I attach my alligator clip right here, and it's easy
Let
to
me
reverse.
let me just, I'm an amateur camera guy here, sorry.
Okay,
Okay,
So
pull
here-
it back out, okay.
I take my sponge and with scissors, cut through, right, into the, about halfway through, and then take my eye hook, it's about an inch eye hook that I cut off the threads, and then push that through. And now, that's my, and then I can attach, that's my electrode, and I can attach my alligator clips.
Hey, that's great,
Yeah.
I like that. Then the eye hook gets all crummy, you can just use another eye hook.
Just replace it.
Yeah, sure, good. Good idea, Jeff.
You can go to any hardware store. Actually, I think this was, I forget. You go to a hardware store and get a 1-inch eye hook.
Yeah.
Or I may have had something for holding screwdrivers, and I just said, let me cut that off and bend it. I don't know, I just found something.
Does Microsoft sell those, Jeff? Jeff, where's your Microsoft?
Okay, now what do we do?
All
All
right.
right, so has everybody got their wires stripped and
Nope.
twisted?
Oh, you have to twist it.
Yeah.
We've been doing this about 6 minutes now, so we're still well ahead of schedule.
I've done this in school. Learning how to put on a new.
Oh, cool. Then you
All
can
right, so
just shove this in
Janelle, you
there
can
like
have
that.
them a little shorter than that.
Yeah, cool.
All right, so then the next thing to do is take a battery. Now this one is my demo battery. It's been put together and taken apart many times, as you can tell by that lovely label.
You might want to start with the sponges, I'm sorry, but when you start with the sponges, then you don't risk touching the things together when it's connected to the
That's true,
battery.
that's
So,
true. All right, so with the sponges, I need to, can I borrow yours? No, thank you. All right, so you just get a basic sponge, like I got these at Bartell's.
Yep,
So like just a couple bucks a piece.
that's a cellulose sponge that will hold water, not a
Yep.
plastic sponge. The
Yep.
plastic sponge isn't any good.
And it doesn't have big monster holes or anything in it, just a,
Bigger, better?
not necessarily,
Oh,
just whatever you're trying to.
Cover.
So then you just cut it in half or quarters or whatever size you want your electrode thing to be. And then I take the scissors and just cut in. Also, I have a pair of, there's a knife that I've got, a serrated knife with a
Serrated
with an
knife
edge,
works really
and it
well.
works great. It goes right into there.
Yeah.
Because these scissors are not working so great on getting this thing started.
So these are cut down.
Oh, you're using serrated scissors? Are you using serrated
I,
scissors?
no, these are just regular scissors, but I have a serrated knife at home there, and now it's finally
Works really great.
And it's a steak knife, and it's sharp at the end, and
Yeah.
serrated, and that works great.
The electric, I do a lot of fun projects with foam, and the electric carving knives that they sell before Thanksgiving, they are just wonderful on foam. You just go zzz. You can carve foam into anything you want.
Alright, so I usually cut the hole into partially through
Thank you.
to there,
You cut a hole where?
On both sides.
right in the middle.
Do we have to wet these first?
No,
No.
no. And then you can vary whether you whether they have it down closer to the skin or farther away, and that'll change how hot the electrode area how it gets. You can vary that if you want to, along with how much baking soda or not you have in the water solution that wets the sponge.
Why do you use baking soda instead of salt?
It's less irritating to the skin, we find. Does conduct electricity almost as well. The salt actually is a better conductor, a smaller amount's better conductor, but it makes the skin itch and get red more. The baking soda doesn't tend to do that as much or at all, really. But it'll carry a lot of current, the baking
So about
soda.
halfway, a little further maybe. You guys got your holes cut?
Yep.
Right. So then I usually just kind of put it down a little bit, and then I
Yeah,
can
bend it
use my,
backwards on itself, yep.
Yeah. and then just push it in until it stops. So you do that with both of them.
It makes like a barb of a fish hook,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, you're bending it that way. Okay, I
Bend
was,
it.
You can do it however you want to.
yeah.
You bend it back.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, then you just shove it in.
Bend it backwards.
Put it in.
I have even used these,
And you're putting,
holding them.
Yeah, so just,
no, but I mean, you're putting one of these on
yeah, so
both
you've
of
got the
I've
two,
done
you've got the
this.
wires like this. So when they're not attached yet.
Generally speaking, these thicker sponges will work out better in practice than the thinner ones, those orange ones, the thin ones
Yeah,
are.
I just
ripped
ran out of
mine.
sponges.
I ripped mine all the way apart, so that's not.
That's okay, no, it's not a big deal at all. You
Here,
can do however you want
have
to.
one of mine.
Okay, so
I've
did that
made
well.
them,
I did
I've
that
made them
one.
with
So
completely
here's,
separate.
here's an easy way to do this,
thank you.
okay?
Sure.
Oh, where's one that's not done?
But Wendy, do I put both of the, I mean, I go from
You
one
just
end to.
put one end of, so put one end in here. And then take the other wire, so yours is
the other wire,
separated, but
Okay,
put the
yeah.
other one in the other
Okay.
sponge.
okay.
Sorry. They're
So
flying.
here's an easy way to do that. Just don't even open it very much, just go, just like this, and it just goes right.
Drives it right
Yeah.
in.
Just drives it right in. And the wire
Those
will just
ones don't
follow it.
start as well as the skinny ones do. They do great once it gets going, but they're not good starters.
There we go. So it's going right in there.
Yeah.
All right, so then you have,
Dish.
it looks like
Excellent.
this.
You're almost done with the project now.
Yes.
Okay,
Almost done.
All right, so everybody got that?
yep.
No, not yet. We have the same, oh.
Yeah, I thought you said the
Totally
longer
apart.
stripped one goes on the sponge and the shorter stripped one goes on the battery.
You pulled the whole thing apart.
Well, right now, we're just doing one end. So,
But you've got two ends doing the same.
yeah,
I
So
like
here's the-
having them separate, so I know which.
here's the extension cord. So one end
Oh,
stripped.
I see what
Here's the
you're
other end is
saying.
stripped.
Duh. Brain
So one of
short.
each of the wires.
Better
It's all
use
starting to
this on
make
the
sense
brain.
now.
Better do that math one.
Better do this.
Believe it or not, I had somebody
Does it work for
actually,
engineering? And
he wanted to give me $100 to make one of
you
these.
had too much garlic for breakfast.
I'm desperately short on sleep from stress and hormones.
Okay, all right, got it.
All right, so everybody got your
Yes.
sponges all done?
Yes,
All right.
Important.
So, next, you put on the battery. So it doesn't matter which prong you put it on, just put it on one of the prongs.
Well, one's covered.
Watch how
One's
she's wrapping
covered up.
it. Watch how she's wrapping it.
Okay, so I kind of slide it
Can
through.
you hold it up and turn it so we can see it toward the
like
camera?
this, Linda.
Yeah, that's it.
Like-
I'm gonna zoom
like
in a
this?
little bit here. Let me get my zoomer going.
How about you put it
Let's
down
see.
on the.
Yeah, that's good. We just wanna get a good angle here. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Is that your
Okay.
good side? Put your good side out.
All right, go.
Your battery
right.
talks.
Keep the battery right, keep that battery right where it is and
As long
then
as it
you're
doesn't argue
fine.
with me. All right, so then you just take one of the ends, it doesn't matter which one you put where, and you just kind of slide it into that hole, and then wrap it around one of the wires. You have those little spiral things?
Oh,
Just wrap it around one. Does not matter what, where, and then just wrap the wire around itself so you don't have a tail sticking out.
Right, you don't want them to touch. You don't want the metals of the two terminals to touch. Otherwise you'll be buying a new battery
Yeah.
and maybe a fire extinguisher.
I had that happen with my pocket with a little 9 volt,
Yeah.
and I had one of these little acupressure rings, and I didn't realize that was still in my pocket, and I stuck the battery in there because we were doing something and it was cold, and I just tapped the battery in there, and then about an hour later I was like, something smells hot. And I started walking around the house trying to figure out what smells hot, and the smell was following me around. And then I was like, wait a minute, so I put my hand in there, and the dang thing burned me. It's like pulling it, it was like, whoa!
that's scary.
Is that right?
Well, on one of the other forums, they were talking about, I posted a thing about how it started house fires,
Perfect.
and so I was telling people about
That's
that.
perfect. And
So then
here-
what you can do is, once you get it wrapped around there, I just kind of screw it,
Just wrap
bring
it
it
around
around until
just
it comes
so-
down to the bottom. It keeps it more stable.
And it- you know
So you just
what?
kind of bring it around.
That's a good idea, yeah.
And then make sure it's away from the other terminal. You do not want the wires to touch the terminal, both terminals, because it'll drain the battery. And then what you do is you
It
take.
might even catch fire.
Yes, it might. Hopefully not in your pocket.
Public service announcement,
Yes.
9-volt batteries. If you have spent 9-volt batteries and they touch, the tops can touch and they will catch on fire.
Yeah.
Yep,
So you have to dispose of those very carefully.
Even if they're dead.
Even if
Yeah,
they're
because
dead.
there's still energy in them.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
You have to be careful with this. All right, so then you just do this exact same thing on the other terminal. So just slide it in, wrap it around itself.
Yeah, the little cover. You notice they sell them with those little black plastic covers, that's so that one terminal is protected, and since you don't have one of the pieces of the circuit, you can't have a circuit, there's no way it can touch. So they don't both have to be covered is the point,
Just one.
just one.
Unless you have many batteries in the same bag, ready
Yes.
to throw away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have a problem.
So you
Well, you
wrap
know,
it
you can
around and
actually,
then
you can actually take, let's say you're in an African village and you wanna leave a car battery there for them to cure themselves with. You can put the battery there and you can attach some wires and hundreds of wires to the battery. And then between the
Good,
battery,
Alicia, I usually start kind of in the middle, so I don't have as far to wrap
at
around.
one point, you can put a
Do
sponge or a
twister.
wet substance
And then you make
to
it come
drop
down
the
the other side
voltage
of
from
Yeah.
12 down to
Yeah.
6.
Wow.
Just by using something that's not fully conductive, like a wet sponge instead of a wire.
Such a
You just
damaged thumb, I always
put
have
the
to
wire in
use
each
these
side of the
things
wet
and
sponge,
Okay.
and then you'll get 6 volts instead of 12.
It's a natural
Lisa,
resistor.
could
A
you
natural resistor, yeah, that's right.
So how much energy are we actually having here with this 6 volt?
Just am frustrated, that's all.
Well, it's going to depend on, the energy that comes through this gadget's going to depend on the skin resistance of the person, in addition to the charge level in the battery and the conductivity of the sponge. It all makes one circuit. And, you know,
Okay. All
All
right.
right, so once you get that wrapped in, I usually start kind of in the middle so I don't have as far to twist around. And then just twist it down again until it's nice and solid. And then, so that the two are not touching each other, I like to kind of put them in parallel. And then what you can do somewhere here is some electrical tape. We have your plain tuxedo black and some spicy red, for those who like things a little spicier. So,
That's just, it doesn't have to, but she does it.
there's all different kinds of colors now. They go to Home Depot and they've got a whole rainbow of them.
Oh, yeah, the kids make wallets and stuff out of them.
Yes.
Anyway,
Clothing, too.
All right, so then you just take
just
some
makes it more stable
of
when
the
you
electrical
wrap it.
tape
There, okay.
and tape these so that they don't move apart. And again, it doesn't have to be rocket
That's
science,
just-
just basic.
Tape them so they
On there.
don't move around, that's what you
Yep,
do.
yep.
Now, okay, oh, there, oh, now you can, wait, no more dentist.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not,
wait.
just so the wire doesn't go
Yeah, you're just keeping the wire from going anywhere.
out. Okay.
you can also put the wire down like that and then go around the battery as well.
Yep.
That'll keep it from pulling.
What did you say your name was? Laisha.
Yeah.
Now, it will be interesting, you need to report back when you get your next
Yes.
exam of the mass.
Yeah, as soon as my husband gets a job and health insurance again.
Oh, okay.
Well, just see if you can, keep it, use this thing to keep it clean.
So I can do
You know,
it.
'cause
Well,
it's-
it'd be interesting to see if it cleans out faster,
Just
because I've
do
been
it like
struggling
this.
with
Yeah.
it for a couple
You
weeks.
never know, it could dissolve, it could start a process
I went
that
to
whereby it
California
could.
where it was summer and my allergies
Or you
went
could just
boom,
hold
and
it
then I came
here,
home on
just
the
hold that.
airplane with allergy attacks.
And hold that.
Imagine that.
Wow, look at
Now,
that,
you're charging your.
really got it
Nice.
wrapped up like a present,
Only the best.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Here.
Yeah, here you go.
Pass the
Oh,
tape.
you're, oh, there's
Anybody
the
need
scissors.
scissors?
Oh,
How do I know I'm actually going? 'Cause I
Scissors
got this
thing.
thing. I knew I should have cut it off.
Hey,
oh, let's turn it on.
you also want to go over the top of those terminals?
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
you do?
No, no.
yeah. I normally do.
We
You
should
mean
have.
like that other one you have over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't we do that?
Well, I
We can
don't,
do
I
that.
don't have it on
We can
this
just,
one.
listen, we can
One's
just cut this off.
Can't we
undone.
just put the cap back on?
Oh, well,
It doesn't stay on very well. I do, if you wanna file a little thing, a little hole in it, then you can, but,
See, they're not, as
But
long
as
as they're not
long as
touching,
one
it's
is,
fine.
Yeah,
one is
yeah.
covered.
yeah.
Even though we haven't
May I
hooked
have
up.
the red?
should I add one?
No,
So you cover one of these,
Yeah, or both of them.
okay.
I generally will use wide tape like Gorilla Tape and just quickly go over it, so I don't have to be endlessly cutting and taping, you know. But any kind of tape is fine, just as long as you get the idea what you have to do. You have
Yeah.
to hide the metal.
Many different ways you can do it.
That's right.
More than one ways.
Cut me another strip and I'll put over the top. Thank you.
good.
My little cheapo wire stripper,
There. Now put it in.
$2. And you adjust it with the screw here,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so different sizes.
So absolutely none of that,
This is really
of
simple.
it should be
This is a
showing.
nice, simple.
that,
Now you can just hold
There
it
we
in your
go.
hands.
So
Down the side.
are we finished essentially with building it? That's
Yeah.
it, right? Ta-da,
Yeah, that's
drum
it.
roll. That's your
This is
Godzilla.
gonna be
Anybody
the
says
Godzilla?
they can't build this
Yep.
or wants to pay me $100 to make them one, I'm game.
The other thing I do to keep the wires in them is I just wrap a rubber band around it.
It's a great idea.
oh,
yeah.
that's brilliant.
And then you just dampen them. Where's the other
You
rubber
need
band?
the
There it is.
tape, right?
I'll just cut off another piece for myself.
You don't wanna wet them at the same time holding them both.
No, yeah, just, so then, you get some, I'll just pretend, dip it in my tea.
Yeah.
So you get them wet, and then you can use different, you want to insulate your hand. If you were holding this, some of the energy would be dissipating into your hands, and you want it all going from one sponge to the other. So you can do a variety of things. You can use the little baggie. We have a little thing of baggies here if anybody needs. Or you can also use just some of these little cheapo kitchen gloves, and that works great. So you only have to have one if you want, or if you want to be fastidious, you can do
There
two.
we go. Where are my sponges? Oh, you have.
Did I use yours?
No, she was using for that demo. That's all.
Yes. All right, so that is it. This is your.
Thanks very much, Linda.
You're welcome.
Tremendous
Thank you.
presentation. Okay, I'm gonna
We
say
want to show
that's
how to
it.
use it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
actually placement is critical.
Yeah, so why don't you show, since you have lots of experience?
Yeah, are we gonna
Okay.
try them out?
Yes, we
Okay, so-
definitely are. Now, the thing to
Okay.
be aware of is that you will possibly or probably end up with red from underneath this. It does go away, but people do get red. You sometimes get a little bit of a slight dizziness when you first take them off. You're gonna be switching the placements every 5 minutes. So when you take it off, you might have a slight dizzy sensation for just a brief period of time, like a fraction of a second. If it's really hot and potent, you also might get a little flash from your eyeballs, but it doesn't cause any damage.
We should mention before we go further, we need to rinse the sponges before we use them when they're brand new. Rinse them out, leave them damp, and then add a little bit of pinch of baking soda, just a pinch, to the water, and soak the sponges in that, because that's gonna carry the electricity.
And I'm gonna
Dry
get some,
sponges won't work.
I'm gonna get some water for everybody.
These are.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay, so when I do a sore throat, I had recently had a very odd sore throat right here. And so I want to get through. So imagine the cross section of your neck. And I put here on either side, one side of the larynx, and then about right below the ear at the same side, and held it for 5 minutes. And then I reversed polarity. Same side, same position for 5 minutes. That got one side. Now I wanted to get the other side, so I put it on this, the opposite side of the larynx and below the other ear and held that for 5 minutes. Within 20 minutes, my sore throat, very strange sore throat, it was painful and had a very, I thought it was gone.
Wait, there's one more.
Then I had to reverse
Thank
polarity.
you.
And then I had to do one more,
That's
reverse
what I
the polarity.
needed.
So every time you do one side, reverse the polarity. And then to be certain, I held it in my hands So as you can imagine, the current, I'm just making you can imagine a big loop here. It's going through my arms, through my chest. And so I wanted to make sure I did not want this infection to go into my lungs. So I'm mildly zapping my lungs and my heart. And because this is DC current, I'm not jeopardizing my heart rate. If it were AC current, very small amounts of AC current can stop your heart. So you have to be very careful with AC current. But DC current, won't have the same effect. So by doing this, you can imagine the current is going through the upper lobes of my lungs, which is what I want. Right?
Jeff, you don't have a pacemaker, right?
I
You
do
don't-
not have a pacemaker.
And you're not
Do
pregnant.
not have any electric implants, okay?
Last time I checked. Now, so if I want to do sinuses, I'm gonna place it on one side of the sinus,
Yeah.
below my eyes, and then the other one behind. You can put it here, but I want to put it here because the sinuses are relatively deep. Okay,
That's right, they are, they go halfway into the skull.
they're pretty deep. They're not on the surface. So I'm going to do that for 5 minutes, and then reverse polarity on this side, and then do the opposite side. I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Not only because the sinuses are deep, I'm getting into the eustachian tube and all the cavities of the head, but also I'm zapping my nostrils, which is where bacteria will live. Despite your best efforts, they live there naturally. This is where MRSA comes from, in your nose. Anyway, so then I do that. So, and then reverse it. So there's one reverse. And if you really want to get the deep sinuses in your head, you put it on your forehead and the back of your neck. So what you can imagine is now I have a current going right through my head, right through the sinuses at the top of my, right in here between my eyes.
Frontal sinuses.
My frontal, yeah, I don't know.
Through your isthmoid.
Yeah. And then reverse that. You always want to reverse the polarity for 5 minutes or whatever. So that's a sinus protocol.
Okay.
When I do my teeth, and this is from Bob, I'm going to do my jaw. I want to make sure I get all my jaw. So I'm going to put it one side where my canines are, right where that jaw changes, and then beneath my ear, right behind the mandible where your jaw joins. And the idea is that you can imagine the circuit going through my mouth, through my teeth, and getting upper and lower jawbone, upper and lower teeth. Reverse that side. Okay, do that for 5 minutes. And now I want to get the other side, so I'll put it here and then behind my mandible and then reverse it for 5 minutes.
Now, when you're doing
And
this,
then I'm
what do you feel? You feel a lot of, like you're being shocked, or what does it feel like?
I usually feel tingling at the electrodes, and sometimes I will feel it in my mouth. I have had the effect, I'm sorry if I'm talking so loud. I have had the effect
That's okay.
that it actually caused some irritation in my gums, but when I did it the next time, that irritation went away.
Okay,
So it was like it was activating something, and then,
could have been
Then I
anything, yeah.
yeah, then I got rid of it.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Okay,
All right, and there's baking soda here, there's water.
Did you put baking soda in?
No, not yet.
Oh,
All right, so you can just put you don't want to put a whole lot,
Just a pinch,
just a pinch.
couple of grains, yeah.
that's huge.
So what so Jeff,
Well,
what
we
we
just
did,
wanna
we're
zap
just trying
you.
to get your nose, because I have that reoccurring staph infection in my nose.
Then just put it on either side.
Not, just periodically it comes up under stress.
Just put it on.
Just like either side of your nose,
Yeah.
and then do it on the other.
And then you
flip
can
it over.
have
And then
any
reverse.
size sponge that you want. You can cut them way down, you can have, just little teeny tiny ones, you can have great big ones.
So what do you, so you're just holding it like that?
Yeah.
Like this, okay,
That's an insulator.
okay,
Okay, passing around the bowl.
okay.
So when
And you only have to have one of these?
Only
Where did
one.
you get the rubber bands?
I do too, I just like,
They were,
I
I got them from Linda, they were
don't
out
have a
there.
whole lot of them.
Well, one was on my,
What, this?
no, rubber
If I could
bands.
just have one to
There's
remind
one
myself
over on the
then.
extension cord over there, my first one came up
Here,
with
I'll
extension
give,
cord.
you can have this one.
And I see there's one on
This.
that
Well, I
extension
just
cord.
wanted one for a demo, just for my, here's one.
Here, your cage, your wire.
Yeah, just go ahead and pull that one off then.
Okay. My thumbs are so screwed up at this point.
It's moist enough. Yeah. That'll give you a nice kind of.
So, you can just use like I said, a little sandwich bags.
Okay,
And you only do it on one hand or both hands?
I do it on both hands just because I don't like having the damp stuff sitting.
Oh, I got one, thanks.
And then you just put it up against.
There's one advantage to using one hand, and that you know the polarity. So if you put the bag on,
Oh, you'll always
And-
know what you're
then-
reversing.
yeah, then you know what you're reversing.
Now,
That's the only advantage.
oh, I see, so you just hold it that way.
Yeah, so just stick your hand in it.
Oh, got it,
And then just hold it like that.
okay. Then you can store your
Can I have a
sponge.
sponge?
Lisa's cleaning.
Oh,
Put the other sponge in there, there won't be any germs left.
no,
Forget the
What
Clorox.
are you looking for?
I need a sponge.
Oh,
wait a minute.
I handed you mine when you were
Yes,
looking at
It has to go
Oh,
behind
okay.
the manhole, or behind the, on the master.
So this is just clean water and now we're putting
That's just
baking
plain
soda
water with
water?
a pinch of baking soda.
Well, this has baking soda
Is
in
it
it?
the holes in it already?
This already has baking soda?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Just a
you
pinch.
feel
I
anything?
can feel it on my cheek, maybe it's because most of the baking soda got on my sponge.
Do you feel a
Because
slight
I love you,
metallic
Bonnie.
taste?
What can I
Yeah.
say?
That will happen even if you have no metal in your mouth at all.
Yeah, I have that one on my mouth. That's what I wanted to ask. What if you have knee replacement? Yeah, I feel this a lot.
Yeah.
I feel something going on in my mouth.
You know what I
Yeah.
noticed is that anywhere your
Yeah, well,
enamel
if you-
is thin, you'll
Yeah,
anywhere your
actually, you
enamel is
probably got
thin-
much too much baking soda. Too much baking soda. You can use straight tap water and it'll work fine too.
Yeah,
What do you do for knee replacement, hip replacement?
You use these, you know why? Because those suckers get infected.
Yes,
You want to
they
use
do.
those because they will clear up that infection. We had a person who had osteomyelitis, which is an infection inside the bone. She had a cold, she was skiing, some infection got into the bone healed, and now the infection's trapped in the bone. Every couple of years it flares up, she has to have surgery, have it cleaned out, and on with crutches forever. She used the electricity on it, gone, came back and maybe a year later she used it again. Now it never comes back. It goes right through the bone, it goes right through the body, you're just like a screen door.
Yeah, because, when you have your teeth cleaned, you have to be pre-medicated. Because if you get a bacterial infection from your cleaning, accidentally getting it into your bloodstream, it goes to the weakest point in your body, which would be the implant, whatever.
Oh, swell.
And so this would really be.
Yeah.
wise.
Yes.
Me too.
electricity going through. When you stick your tongue on the end of a battery, you ever do that when you were a kid?
Yes.
You get that metallic taste?
Yeah.
It's like
What
a-
So I really
Just the electricity going through.
So if
What
you're-
I've noticed is that
if you're
any
going to be
area
using them
where
on
the
your
enamel is
teeth
thinner,
like this,
it'll be
maybe once a
stronger
week,
flavor.
Once a
You
week.
should expect to see a marvelous improvement in your dental visits.
So if I'm just doing it on my finger like this, then I don't have to reverse anything, right? There's nothing to reverse?
Well, what I would say about
It's
this
smaller.
is that you would want to do it this way. You would want to put this here, and you would want to put the other one maybe up here,
Oh, okay.
okay? Because if you do this, they're going to
It's
touch.
gonna zip around each
You
other.
don't want the sponges to touch.
The sponges are
okay.
going to carry much more current than your finger. Your finger's
okay.
more resistive than
One
the
side is
sponges.
tingling.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
all
you
you
don't
have
want
to
it to
do.
touch? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You'll
One
feel-
side is
And you can bring it
tingling
up
on the
closer to
skin.
here. Yeah, that's fine.
Just
Sort
don't
of
let
tell
them
you how
touch,
you'll
and then no
know which
switch it.
polarity it is.
Switch
that-
every
That's
5
the
minutes.
Usually the
Positive
positive
polarity?
is.
Oh.
Every
where
5
the
minutes,
electric-
put this sponge where that sponge is and
Oh, okay.
reverse.
Okay.
See, because
Why do
when
you do
when
that?
current runs in too much,
No,
too long in
no,
one
every 5
direction,
minutes.
it will make
I'm
chemical
just-
changes in your body.
Just
And we want to undo the
Every
Just
chemical
about every
changes.
5 minutes is what I
Oh.
do.
If it's
Okay.
depositing something when it runs one way, it'll undeposit it the other way.
Okay.
We've noticed we get pains in the joints when you use it
Don't
on
let
your
the
wrist to
sponges
electrify the bloodstream. After 20
There you
minutes
go.
or so, running one direction, everything aches and it takes days for it to start feeling better again. It feels like you got arthritis. So that's
So
why
if
you
you
reverse
switch it,
it.
then it goes away? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
you switch it, it doesn't happen.
You have baking soda on your face.
Now, I've tried this on gout. The doctor thinks it's gout. I don't think it's gout. I don't know why, because I'm ornery that way. But it didn't work for me, but other people have reported that it does.
And
Yes.
for osteoarthritis,
What about, like,
arthritis?
When I
Huh?
take it
What
out
about
of
having
the
in
Yeah,
contact
that's
with
what I
jewelry,
was talking about.
I mean,
for
like
a brief
earrings or-
second. Your-
earrings or?
I don't think it does any harm.
So do this.
I don't think it's gonna
sitting
do any
down somewhere
harm.
secure, maybe
I
not
think you
push it.
probably would
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
Then reverse.
remove it as a rule, but there's no hard and fast thing about that.
So the other thing is just, if you want to electrify your blood, just, you know, that's a lot of current.
Don't touch, yeah.
You,
It's a lot
Jeff,
more than my current at home.
if you want to really electrify your blood, put the sponges down on the table and lay your wrists on
You
them.
put your wrist on it, yeah.
Got that, everybody? See that? You really want to electrify your bloodstream. Let's say you got a lung infection and you want to get some current through the arteries into the lungs. That's a way to do it, because it'll follow the arteries the blood is 700 times more conductive than the skin. So a lot of current will go through the lungs and it will tend to kill whatever germ is in there. Again, we're theorizing here. We have to
This-
say we think.
Will this work?
No, not really. I mean,
Okay,
it's,
so this one, the same one that was tingling on my face, doing this, that same end, which I guess is the positive, is making my wrist hurt.
is it making your wrist hurt?
Move my wrist hurt right there.
No, stop doing it. Dr. Bob.
Or you can
Or
lighten up,
don't
don't,
do
Move
that.
it to a different position,
yeah,
maybe?
Alicia, you
Stay
can,
by
you can
Not
not
direct,
put,
it's
not
not-
put as much
Purple.
pressure on it, or you can rinse out
Not
some of the
sure
baking,
how-
rinse just regular
Yeah.
plain water and see what
You can
happens
just
with
hold
the
it in
different.
Just dilute the
This,
baking soda.
when I hold it in my hand,
The rest of
it's going, I feel it in my fingers.
So one is warm and one is kind of pain, a little bit of pain, so switch them?
Oh,
Is
whoops.
that what you're saying?
Yeah, just move the sponges, that's right.
And the doctor says, do you drink? No. You smoke? No. Do you gamble? No. You chase women? No. Then the doctor says, what the hell do you want to live to be 100 for?
I think with that, we're going to close the video down and thank everybody for watching us here on YouTube or wherever else you're seeing. And thanks, Linda, especially for setting this whole thing up, getting everybody together, doing a fantastic job of presenting something in a clear and helpful way. So thanks, everyone.
Drop your sponges and see if we get fireworks.
Yeah. My name's Bob, Baby Grand, or whatever you want to call me, and I'm on the microelectricitygermkiller Yahoo group. That's all one word, microelectricitygermkiller Yahoo group. Join the group, have some fun, report your results, and thanks for watching.